Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Homeopathy World. I am Dr. Samina and in today's lecture we are going to discuss the Dangerous Drugs Act 1930. The Dangerous Drugs Act 1930 is the India Act number 2 of 1930. Its commencement was on 1st February 1931. India participated in the Second International Opium Conference held on 27 September 1923 at Geneva, and on 19 February 1925 adopted the Convention relating to the dangerous drugs. All the contracting parties who attended the Geneva Convention resolved to take the further measures to suppress the trafficking and abuse of dangerous drugs, especially opium, Indian hemp, and coca. It was decided that all the penalties for certain offences related to dangerous drugs should be increased and it should be considered seriously. Some of the definitions which are important during the Act are coca leaf. Coca leaf means leaf or young twigs of coca plant, that is Erythroxylon coca, which may be notified as dangerous drugs by the official gazette for the purpose of this act, but it does not include mixture containing less than 0.1% of cocaine. Coca derivative. It is crude cocaine which can be used directly or indirectly for manufacture of ecgonine or ecgonine derivatives of cocaine. Hemp. Hemp means leaf or stalk, fruits or flower of Indian hemp, that is cannabis sativa or bhang or ganja or char. Char is nothing but resin obtained from Indian hemp plant or any mixture or drink prepared from it. Opium smoking establishment means any house or building or room or shop or place kept or used as a resort for persons desiring to smoke opium. No one shall cultivate any coca plant or gather any portion of it. No one shall manufacture or prepare opium for consumption. And no one shall import or export or transship or sell opium, provided it does not apply to the portion cultivated on behalf of the government. So government can cultivate its portion of opium if required. The President can make rules regarding the restriction and regulation of manufacture and possession of opium, and also the conditions for which the license for that purpose may be required to obtain. The authorities concerned may grant the license for cultivation and a nominal fees or some amount of fees may be charged for this purpose. The President may also make rules regarding the sale, import and export of the substance to the chemist. Nothing mentioned in above act applies to the manufacture of medicinal opium that is used for the preparation of morphine, diacetylmorphine, cocaine, or lawfully entitled to the process. The President may prescribe the ports. So whichever port the opium can be transported, exported or imported can be decided by the President, or places in which this kind of drugs may be imported, exported or transshipped, and license shall be granted to the concerned authorities for doing so. And no one other than the licensed personnel can transport, sell, possess opium and manufacture it. The drugs cannot be sold or delivered to any person who is not entitled to their possession. That means whoever is not having the license, that person shall not sell or deliver the drugs. No one shall induce any person under 25 years of age to use prepared opium, to enter opium smoking establishments or to produce prepared opium. The punishments for these crimes are: whoever cultivates, gathers, manufactures, possesses coca plant, or imports or exports or sells prepared opium shall be punished for a period of 2 years or a fine or both. Any person who induces another person below 25 years of age will be imprisoned for a period of 2 years or fine or both. Or any person subject to more than one offence can be imprisoned for a period of 4 years or fine or both. The court may order the offender until proven guilty to execute a bond with or without security. Now, what is the security? They have to pay or they have to keep some property with the court to ensure that they will not do this offense thereafter. And when the charges are set aside, the bond may be considered as void. Any officer of the Department of Excise, Police, Customs, Salt, Opium, or Revenue, or superior to the peon or constable, who has a reason to believe that he has an information given by any person and has taken down in writing, can enter any building, vessel, or place. Vessel, any cargo ships, or any building, or any place. He can break upon a door or remove the obstacles, or seize the material, or arrest or detain any person with the reason to believe that he might have committed the offense. And whenever a person makes such an arrest, he has to write a detailed report to his senior or superior officer within 48 hours of the arrest or seize. Any person who unnecessarily searches, detains, or arrests such facilities shall be fined 500 rupees. The authority to whom the report is being written will take the necessary measures to dispatch or dispose. They can either dispatch or dispose the drugs according to the law. And any person not convicted claims his right to the seized property can appeal to the court of law. So if somebody is a licensed personnel and his property was seized or his drugs were seized, so he can apply or claim the drugs to be given to him through the court of law. So that was all about the Dangerous Drug Act 1930. I hope you understood this topic, and if you haven't understood this topic or have any doubts regarding it, please mention in the comment section below. And thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get the notification on our latest updates. Thank you.